which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Ms. Littles? Here. Mr. Olthoff is absent. Mr. Villalobos?
Present.
Mr. Caper?
Present.
Mr. Stick?
Present.
Mr. Fisher?
Here.
Mr. Wilkening is absent. Mr. Brittenham?
Here.
Mr. Mager?
Here.
Mr. Carnahan?
Here,
Mr. Rivera is absent.
she has school, and so she called me and said she's unavailable.
Okay. And Mr. Austin?
Present.
Okay, public comment? Once? Twice? 3 times? Okay, now we'll proceed. Approval of the minutes of Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. Do I have a motion? You can do that if you want.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second the motion.
Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Littles?
Yes.
Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes. Pass, thank you. VIPS report?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Sam.
This morning you got the April 2024 VIPS hours. You see everybody made some hours, and we had one detail over the month, and that was a Hanover business, which had a couple apps go out, but waiting for them to come back.
Okay, well, hope you good luck, and as always, thanks for your dedicated service.
You are welcome.
And they were out, when the tree hit the gazebo too, I saw them out there.
Yesterday, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wednesday,
Yep.
Tuesday, Monday.
One of those.
I'm here every night.
Okay, before we start the police department report, our member Jim Altoff has resigned due to health reasons. He certainly was a valued member. I've been on 5 years. I think he might have been on 8, maybe 8, 3 years before. But anyway, his knowledge was second to none. He was a great asset to the department, to the safety board here, and I just want to thank him for his service and tell him that he'll be missed. So I just wanted to say that. So, police department, number 3, communications.
Yes, Mr. President, I got just 2 quick ones. One, I received an email from Detective Potesta. I just want to thank you and your staff for your assistance and hospitality extending the Indiana State Police and Homeland Security investigations during the operations conducted in your jurisdiction. Your officers were courteous, helpful, and professional throughout the day. Specifically, Sergeant Godoy was instrumental in preparation and gathering some intelligence and the manpower for the detail. As a result of the investigation, Cedar Lake resident was arrested and charged with multiple crimes. I'm not going to go into detail what it was, but you guys are aware of it. So it was one of the investigators for the thing that I told you about. So we can't say anything because the U.S. Attorney doesn't want to put it out there yet.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then, second one, we had, while I was on vacation, we had some stuff brought up about some parking and traffic-related issues on Lakeshore Drive related to the farmers market. So we, Deputy Chief looked into it pretty extensively, got back with Ms. Dixon to make sure she was aware. Basically, what we think is just the number of traffic because of the personnel. We did not have any farmers market issues here that day. He was out with the patrol commander, and other than up on the north side, we just think it's normal people coming home. So with the amount of homes that have been built in the last couple of years, the traffic's just heavier than it used to be.
It's like watching a clock move. You don't see it until it's there.
Yeah, then all of a sudden, yeah.
It's there. Okay.
And Carl got a hold of me, and I conferred. I saw no problem with it. I was there for a little over an hour, and I had more trouble getting out of this place next night at the BZA meeting than I did at the farmer's market.
Okay, number 4.
As you got a copy of our finances, for purchase orders for the month. We also have the pier was completely, installed, ready to go. I think there's a couple of canopies that gotta be put up yet, but it's, functioning, ready to go for the public. There's some discussion with the clerk treasurer's offices where that installation and removal is gonna be paid out of now. So that's taking place with the town hall. Safe Coalition was applied for and submitted on April 24th. Decisions on funding will be made June 26th and awarded. Funded by, so we applied for a grant through the Safe Coalition. We received a grant of 4 boxes of gummy bears for the 4th of July parade. If not all used, we'll utilize it in trunk or treat. And we previously received a grant from NIPSCO NISOURCE for funding to be used for officer equipment for the range and community outreach fire safety class that Corporal Presti will be teaching in July. We're trying to figure out where that location will be, but we'll be putting out some flyers for it.
Okay.
You got a list here, $1,560 for rifle training. Tell me about that.
So, hold on, let me find where you're looking.
You got 412.
Well, that's Weapon Systems Training Council. It's not, they haven't attended yet, it's armory school for the rifle. So we have to recertify as an armorer every 3 years.
Okay.
And it costs that much to go to the class.
For 3 guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
So myself and Sergeant Kilgore used to be the ones to do it, but in my position, I'm trying to open it up for others, so those 3 guys are going to go to armory school.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, 5, staffing.
As some of you were here last night, Matthew Milan was officially sworn in front of the council last night. He's doing very well. He's completing up his 40-hour pre-basic course this week. So he can be certified enough to start working the road. He's got all his uniforms. He's got everything to go, with the exception of his new vest, which we have ordered. It usually takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get in. Then we'll get his carrier, but by that time he will be in the academy, which starts the end of July. So he's moving along.
Would he replace one of the officers?
Yeah, he replaced the officer that went back to Maryville.
Okay, that's what I thought.
What's his number, 60?
62. All of our staff that were previously kind of, they're all back to work, so. Last week was Police Week. We provided food for the staff for one day, multiple donations from community and members, so we provided food on Thursday for the staff and then whoever was available for National Police Week, so.
Okay, thank you. So, let me see, training?
Got a copy of the training report, probably some highlights. So all the police staff, including civilians part-time, they've all been trained in the new UKG program, which is our timekeeping program that the town is going to. The civilian staff went through it first, and now the police department is just about finished up, and I believe the fire department are going to it. It's a new timekeeping thing versus BSNA. So we have some hiccups from here and there, but we're working through them. 4 of us on the administration staff went to a training called Tall Cop over in Maryville at the Dean and Barbara White Center on April 25th. It was related to, how do I describe it? Narcotics, not narcotics. Stuff you can buy at gas stations, right? It's the best way to describe it. And the legal stuff that's actually pretty rough out there is one of the most informative classes that I've ever been to. The officer was from Texas, and he basically goes out right before he does the training to local gas stations, and you see all these gas stations selling things that are Delta 8 or Delta 9 or whatever it's supposed to be, and looking at the percentages, and he goes and looks at them to see where those trends are going to, and he talked for about an hour and a half, wasn't it? I don't know, about 3 hours? A couple hours. Yeah, phenomenal. It was really good. So next year when he comes back, we're going to send more people to it. So, and then right now we're in the middle of Police One training for vehicle pursuits and use of force, our biannual training that we'll continue to do. So we're in the middle of that right now.
I think we talked about, do we not have a inspection coming up?
Coming up at the bottom here, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay, good.
On this timekeeping,
Yep.
So if someone would get a call out for SWAT,
Yep.
you would be able to pull that timekeeping payroll record then, right? That overtime slip?
Yeah.
And you would be able to just hit a button and see how much this would cost us?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't know much about it yet, we're still learning it. I would say yes. We still have paper trail, for call-outs, and whenever officers get overtime comp time, they still have to fill out the paperwork and give it to their supervisors. We're still using the BSNA, which is the old program, until it starts working, but I would say we should be able to. I can't
But
tell
you would be able to distinguish overtime for training, overtime for SWAT, overtime, or would it just come out as overtime, a blanket
I
overtime?
think it's just overtime blanket, because it would have to be stipulated in one of the drop-down boxes, and it does not break it out that far. So it's overtime, can't think of it, I don't think you can, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know that the program's capable, it might be, but it would be a lot more time, because he would have to input all that information as to every potential call-out, I guess you might say. Whether it's SWAT or drone or something, you know.
Okay, thank you.
So this is brought on by the town hall. They bought the program with the council first of the year, I think it was, right, Bob? Something like that. So just a new type, timekeeping to go away from the old BSNA, so.
Okay.
Is that all on that, David?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Was you through on training?
Yeah.
Number 7, equipment.
Still waiting on the status of the new squad cars. They've been ordered. I've had contact with them. We ordered them on March 18th, and looks like they're still all backed up.
No VIN numbers yet.
No, still in the build status. So the people that we're buying them from are trying to push them to the top of the list. So.
Okay, number 8, monthly activity report.
All right, so monthly activity report, you can see we had 1,050 calls for service for the month. We had 509 traffic stops. We had 456 traffic warnings, 192 citations. We had 530 total law calls, and then 26 arrests with 38 charges. We issued 21 ordinance warnings in the month, and we issued 54 ordinance citations. Also in the month, just for activity report, we kind of put it in here. Officer Corbin finished his first year with the Too Good for Drugs program at the Red Cedars. That's when we changed over from the DARE program. We had a graduation on May 15th with all the kids over in Lemon Lake Park. We're going to meet in the next month or so to evaluate the program and see how well it worked and if it's something we're going to continue with. And then actually just yesterday, MacArthur third graders came down for a tour of the old station. Since the next time they come, it'll be in the new station.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty cute. So we had
Yeah.
Officer Campster take them through the old station, or our current station, and they do it every year, so they really enjoy it and get to talk to them.
And they're under the DARE program, not under...
Yeah, they're under the DARE program with Crown Point. Correct.
Okay, good. Lexipol will meet and do it next...
We have 30 of them.
Yeah, I heard that.
We got sat down together 2 days ago and went through them all, so.
So did we win the prize, or what?
It just happens that way when they come up, and some of them are like you've seen before, are really nothing, just a couple verbiage changes.
AEIOU?
Yeah, and then some of them are some serious changes, and we'll sit down with you guys. We just haven't had time to put it together with you two yet, so I think Sarah's gonna reach out to you after today, and maybe the next 2 weeks we can figure out the days that you guys are available, and we'll do our review of them and then put it on the next month's agenda.
Yeah, it's better to do it right the first time.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, thank you. Do
Yep.
you have anything for number 10, other?
Just upcoming, we have the Protecting Canine Heroes program, the second annual open house. She's the one that donated the dog to us. It's Sunday, June 23rd from 11 to 4 p.m. with it's open to the public with food, music, and giveaways. The K-9 will have the SWAT truck there. They can bring it down for people to see. The event's held at the Knights of Columbus, 13115 Wicker Avenue this year, since weather was an issue last year. And then June 5th is department inspections. I can't give you the time, but I will text it to you.
June, what was the date?
June 5th.
6th.
5. I won't give you the time yet because we're working with the photographer to do a new department photo. So I'll let you know so you guys can be there for the photo. We're trying to probably push it towards more of the afternoonish, like around 1. One, it helps out with the officers that are coming off of midnight to give them, an opportunity to get some rest. And then the sun's over top of us, which, the last couple of years, you guys saw the sun was right in our face when we were out in the park, so we're gonna do that, but it'll be in the parking lot over here again, so I'll let you know the exact time, so you guys can be down there.
So,
June 5th is the date.
talking about the dog prompts me, so how's he doing? Has he had any,
He works with them all the time. I haven't heard of anything in particular, recently, but we've been pretty busy with a lot of things, so.
so has he been pretty well active on sniffing out
Yeah,
dogs?
he's pretty active, does a lot of training with them, and, but if they don't have a call for him, then he's not, you know what I mean, he doesn't have it, so. I haven't heard anything recently, but we can look into it.
I guess no news is good news.
Could be.
Okay, thank you. Fire Department, number 11, communications.
Yes, Board, this week is the EMS week. There's been some activities throughout the week at St. Anthony's Hospital in Crown Point. Tomorrow they're hosting a picnic for all the medics and EMTs.
Okay, number 12, finances.
Yes, within your packet, you have a copy of April's purchase orders for the entire month, the expenditure report through the end of April. Then on grants, we are still in the running for the AirPack grant through FEMA, the AFG. Awards should start going out probably second week of June, what they're anticipating. We're in peer technical review right now, and we have not been notified that we did not get it yet, so that's positive.
Good. Number 5, staffing. I'm only aware that we got 2 applications. Have you heard any more than?
Yes, I did not receive an update on that. No update at this time.
That'd be 13, not 5, right?
Pardon me?
It's 13, not 5. You said 5.
For staffing, 13.
Whoops, I was looking at the police department. Thanks for keeping me on the, although you're a little older than I am, because we grew up together, so I'm supposed to be watching out for you.
I'm pretty hot.
Okay, I stand corrected. 13, was that all on 13?
Yes.
Okay, 14, training report.
Within your package, you'll have the training report for the month of April, total of 520 hours of training. And then within the report, you'll have a breakdown by session and hours per category.
Can you touch on the dive training that went on?
Yes, last week, the members of the department that are divers spent the entire week with Mavis 207 Dive Task Force or dive team. Anywhere from here in Cedar Lake, Crown Point, they went to the river, and then Hake Quarry in Kankakee, Illinois. And every day was a different type of training or rescue training.
When you went to Kankakee, did you train over there in the river? All is that?
No, that was at Hake Quarry. They
Okay,
actually
yeah.
do dives in the quarry.
Those are quite deep, I'm
Yes.
guessing. Okay, good. Number 15, equipment.
Some minor repairs coming up here in the next couple of weeks. Some AC issues we're finding out. Window regulator issues with one of the engines. Just a lot of odds and ends, small stuff right now, nothing major at this time.
Okay, number 16, activity.
Yes, again, and within your packet, you'll have operations report. Total 148 incidents for the month of April. 77% of those were EMS, 15% were PI accidents, and 8% were fire incidents. Also break down by the area, we're maintaining over 30% of the time of overlapping incidents throughout April as well. That report's also in your packet, along with breakdown by day of the week, time of the day, and then finally, the type of incident, is the last section.
Okay. We're gonna move on to Lexipol now, and we're gonna defer all of the policies except 1,000 until next month. The 1,000 has some state mandated updates in it, so it's felt that we should approve this tonight.
Can I see that, please?
Sure.
First off, this policy 1,000 is recruitment and selection. In section 1000.7.1 reads standards for firefighters, and it says candidates shall meet the minimum standards established by Indiana law, including those provided in IC 36-8-3.5-12 and also IC 36-8-4.7-5. So we are going to adopt this new standard by the new statutes. But in section 1000.7.1, in addition to that information, I would like to include this sentence. The required agility test shall include CPAT protocols. The first statute there establishes that there must be an agility test, and we want to establish which agility test we're going to use, so we're going to go with CPAT. So I would like to add that line.
So can I have a motion to approve that?
The requires, and that, just for your information. Right here.
Second?
Just gonna get that sentence.
So moved.
Barbara made the motion, Charlie seconded it. Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Lewis? Yes. Mr. Villalobos?
Yes.
Mr. Caper?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Stick?
Yes. Thank you.
So that's policy 1000, recruitment and selection.
Which you want to have that to
Yes.
write down what,
Please.
and we'll continue with the other policies next month when the chief is back. Okay, we go to 18, Mr. Austin. Okay. Number 19.
The council is going to look over the list of candidates that we have to get a fifth replacement on the safety board. And another question for the fire department. They want to know the rotation of the ambulance. Do we just always use one of the council members said that they thought we were just always using the new ambulance, and I told them I've seen when the white ones go out. How is the rotation done?
So primarily the 1262, the red ambulance, the new ambulance, is the primary ambulance because we have so many second calls. Now 32% of the time there's a second call when there's a first call. So you'll see both. But we do periodically run like a 2-to-1 rotation on the white one and the red one if you want to refer as that. But the white one's getting used just as much on second calls because there's so many second calls.
So the majority is the new one, then you go to the white one. We have a total of 3.
Correct.
And so the second one, they're both white, the other 2, right?
Correct.
And so is one used more than the other, or are they equally distributed, both white ones?
The newer, the 2 white ones is used more.
So you go red, then the newer white one, and then the third one goes out if you get a third call, and then after that you go for mutual aid.
Most of the time, the third one does not go out because we cannot staff it with paramedics, so it goes mutual aid right away.
After the second one.
It's set up in a response plan, and both ambulances are assigned to the call. It goes to the closest community
Okay,
for the third call.
all right, thank you.
Okay, who wants to go with the new building update?
Things are moving along very well. We had a meeting today. The building's gonna be ready, but we just won't be inside of it till the water's done. They've been working on it pretty good. To get the water going, the council had an update last night, on the water. But ultimately, we're waiting. Right now, they had some testing they had to do down at the well. They're waiting for the return from the bacterial testing. I'll say it in layman's terms, but I'm sure it was a little bit more in depth than that. Before the project can actually move forward, for the water main extension. But as far as the building is concerned, the majority of the police department is, I would call it 90% completed. Everything's painted, all the floors are in, roof, ceiling, tiles are in. They're doing, the grading work now on the outside, up to the southwest corner of the police department and the northeast corner of the fire department. So anything that's close to Constitution or Morris is not gonna get touched, until the water main extension's done, so we don't tear up brand new stuff. But yeah, you know, if we had the water main, we would be in it in July.
Okay, good. Does the department have anything for other 21?
Oh, no, I don't.
Is the fire department gonna update theirs, the building?
I'm the one that looks at both of them most of the time. They're the same. The fire department's only about probably 10% behind us. They're putting in floors right now for the fire department. They're waiting on the doors to get installed. Once the doors get installed, they'll be able to epoxy that floor. But they won't do that until the doors are on, because it's got to stay, I think, off of it for 4 days.
So the fire department said about 80%.
Probably about 80%, that's what I would say. They're actually putting up siding on both buildings right now, the areas that get siding. Most of it is brick, as you can see, but they're putting that up, started it today.
And Christopher B. Burke is working on the water
Correct.
situation, and they've turned in stuff, and they're waiting
Yeah.
for reports back from Indiana Department of Environmental Management.
I'll say that they're being very diligent. They're working pretty hard to try to get it moving, but it's just at the work of IDEM, it's up to them, you know what I mean? So can't do much more than what IDEM lets them do, right?
Yeah, and there were some tests that were done, and they want them done again.
Yep, so.
Have all of you gentlemen toured that facility already?
Yeah.
No? Okay. I'd like to look at it sometime, if you don't mind.
Sure. I can reach out to you guys if you want. We can go during the daytime. We just gotta put some hard hats on you right now.
Monday mornings are always good for me. Let me know.
Sure.
Okay, call for public comment once, twice, 3 times. I declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you.